Good evening and welcome to JJK Yoga. So, as always, let's come to a lying down position. Just bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. You can have your eyes closed or open here, but just take a moment to arrive to your mat as we wait for any latecomers. Just make sure you're nice and comfortable. Have your shoulders pressing down into the mat. And maybe just take a moment here just to scan your body, notice how you're feeling. Just notice if there's any areas in the body that you're holding on to tightness. So bend your knees and bring your feet and knees hip width apart. Make sure your toes are pointing forward, your knees are tracking over your toes. And your heels are just below your knees, maybe a few centimetres or so in front of your knees. Now turn your palms over and press your palms down into the mat. Press your feet down and press your shoulders into the mat. As you start to inhale, so I want you to inhale and exhale through your nose. So as you inhale, slowly start to lift your lower back, your middle back and your upper back off the mat. Really drawing your hips towards your knees and your chest up towards your chin. And as you exhale, slowly start to lower your spine, vertebra by vertebra, down back to the mat. Tuck your tailbone so that you can get the whole spine onto the mat. Just do a couple more of these. Inhale, and then slowly lifting your lower spine, your middle spine and your upper spine off the mat, really extending the front of the body. See if you can lift the chest up towards the chin. And again, as you exhale, slowly lowering your spine down towards the mat. Again, remember to tuck your tailbone. Last one. So make sure you're pressing equally between your feet, your palms and your shoulders as you inhale. Again, slowly lifting yourself off the mat. Make sure your knees don't splay out. And again, as you exhale, slowly lower yourself back down towards the mat. Lovely. So this time we're going to introduce the arms. So as you inhale, again pressing down into your feet and shoulders, you're going to lift your hands as you lift your torso off the mat, bringing your arms up and behind you. And as you exhale, bring the arms back as you slowly lower your spine back down towards the mat. Inhale. Again, try not to let those knees splay out. And exhale, slowly lower. So remember on the exhale to lift that pelvic floor slightly and to draw your belly button towards your spine. So you gently start to activate your bandhas. And then slowly lower. Well done. Now bring your arms shoulder width apart. You can keep your feet hip distance or maybe just make them walk them slightly wider apart. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower your knees to the left, bringing your right arm with you and bringing your right hand over your left hand. Inhale and come all the way back. We'll do the same side. Again, inhale. Really draw that hand past the left hand. And exhale. Open yourself back out. Bringing the knees back to center. Last one. Inhale. Lift the arm up. See if you can bring that hand a little bit more further from that left hand. And exhale, back over. This time, I'm going to take an inhale. As we exhale, I'm going to bring the hand over again. Bring it past the left hand. And as we exhale, we're going to slide the arm all the way around. Bringing our hand to almost a 10, 11 o'clock position. Really stretching that area around the armpit. Maybe on the side of the torso. So you want to find that juicy spot. Try to bring that right shoulder back down to the mat. Knees stay over at the left. And you're going to slowly bring that arm back down. Inhale, reach it up and over. And again, as you exhale, slowly draw the arm behind you. You want to find that juicy spot. So once you find that juicy spot, just hold it there. Energetically drawing that right shoulder back down towards the mat. And then slowly come back. Inhale, last one. And exhale. Again, just holding it there. And then slowly bring the arm back, bring the knees back. Let's do the other side. So take an inhale. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to the right, bringing your left hand past your right hand. Inhale, all the way back over. Exhale, drop the knees to the right, hand goes beyond the right hand. Inhale, all the way back, open. Exhale, one more. And then all the way back over. This time as you inhale, reach your arm up and over, bringing it past your right hand. And as you exhale, you're going to slowly draw that arm behind you, bring your hand to that sort of 1, 2 o'clock position, just finding that stretch along the left armpit, maybe along the side of that torso. Hold it there. Try to bring that left shoulder back down towards the mat. And if you can, keep the knees over to the right. And let's do that again. Bring the arm in line with the shoulder. Inhale, reach it up and over, past your right hand. And as you exhale, slowly bring it all the way back. Again, bringing that left shoulder back down towards the mat and just holding it there. Last one. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale all the way back round. And hold. And then slowly come back, bring your knees back to center. And then just draw your knees into your chest. You can hug your knees in, have a gentle rock from side to side. And then we're going to slowly roll over to one side and bring ourselves up to a seated position. So come up into any comfortable seated position. So you can come into kneeling, cross-legged or legs out in front. You really want a nice upright spine. You can use a block or cushion to sit on if you prefer. Okay, lovely. So start by placing your palms over your knees, shoulders drawing down your back. And then just close your eyes here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower your chin down towards your chest. Keep drawing the shoulders down your back. Then slowly bring your hands and interlace your hands behind the base of your head, letting your elbows drop. Just finding that stretch along the back of your spine and just breathe into it. So we're really working the chest and the shoulders today. Now slowly release your hands. Keep the shoulders drawing down your back. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slide your left ear over to your left shoulder. Keep drawing your right shoulder down and just find that stretch along the right side of your neck. You might want to tilt your chin closer towards your chest. And if you want, you can raise your left arm over your head, bring your left hand onto your right ear. And this just helps to add a little bit more resistance. Now slowly place the hand back down onto the knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly draw your chin to your chest again. Inhale, and as you exhale, draw your right ear over to your right shoulder. Draw that left shoulder down. Just find that stretch along the left side of your neck. Inhale, as you exhale, you might want to tilt your chin closer to your chest. Hold it here, or maybe raise your right arm. Place your right hand over your left ear. So really you want to find that first point of resistance and then just hold it there and breathe into it. And then slowly bring your hand back down. Take an inhale as you exhale. Lower your chin to your chest. And then inhale, slowly bring your head up, open your eyes. Now bring your hands onto your shoulders. And let's just do some small circles with our elbows, just drawing our shoulders back. Just gently opening up our shoulder blades. And then start to increase the size of the circles that you're making with your elbows. Make sure you're breathing. And then start to bring the shoulders forward. Start with small circles and start to increase the size of the circles. And then just a couple more back. And bring your hands back down. Now, we're going to raise our right arm up to the ceiling. Bring your bicep by your ear. Bend the elbow and bring your hands between your shoulder blades. Reach your left arm up and place the hand behind your right elbow to guide that right hand further down your back. You can stay there, work in that position, or you can bring your left arm behind you and see if you can interlace your hands. If your hands don't reach and you have a strap, you can use a strap. Once in position, whichever position you're in, try to stay in an upright position. Keep your right bicep drawing towards your right ear. If you've got your left arm behind you, try to draw that left shoulder back. And again, just come back to the breath. Find that first point of resistance and breathe into it. And then slowly release the left arm, release the right. This time, raise your left arm by your ear, bend the elbow, bring the hand between your shoulder blades. Reach your right arm up, hand behind your elbow, just drawing that left hand further down your back. Again, you can bring the right arm behind you and see if you can interlace your hands or maybe grab a strap. So once in position, whether you're in position 1 or 2, make sure your left bicep draws in towards your left ear, elbow up towards the ceiling. If you've got your arm behind you, keep drawing that right shoulder back. Again, find that first point of resistance and really draw your exhale towards that area. Maybe just noticing how with each breath you start to soften some of the resistance. And then slowly release your right arm, release your left. Now bring your arms out nice and wide. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your right arm under your left arm. Now, options are, first option is just to grab the backs of your shoulder blades and draw your elbows up and place your forehead on your arms there. Second option is to bring the backs of your forearms together. If you're bringing your arms together, you just draw your elbows up, arms forward, and then you can drop your forehead down. Or maybe you can interlace your arms so your palms come to meet. Again, elbows reach up and arms reach forward. So you want to find that stretch along the back of your shoulder blades. And then just drop your forehead down and breathe. So try to bring that right arm, elbow in line with the shoulder. And really reach the arms forward if you've got them up. And just come back to your breath. Now slowly lift your head, release your arms, bring them out nice and wide. And this time bring your left arm underneath your right arm. So try to go to the same place before. Option 1, grab the backs of the shoulders. Option 2, backs of the arms together. Option 3, interlace the arms and bring the palms together. If you're on option 1, you're going to lift those elbows. Option 2, lift the elbows and bring the arms forward. And then just drop your head onto your arms. Just feeling that stretch across the back of your shoulder blades. One more breath here. And then slowly lower the arms and start to make your way into a tabletop position. So wrists directly under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And then we're going to slowly take an inhale, reach the right arm up. And as you exhale, you're going to thread it underneath your left armpit. Inhale, reach the right arm up again. Exhale, thread it underneath that left armpit again. Last one, inhale, really reach and open. And exhale, really thread it under so you come onto the top of that right shoulder. And then draw the hips back over the knees. Walk your left hand up to the top of the mat. And then breathe. Come on to rest onto your right temple. Really breathing along the left side of the body and the under part of the right shoulder. And then slowly walk the left hand back, press into the palm as you bring yourself back into a tabletop. Well done. Let's do the other side. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, thread it underneath your right armpit. Inhale all the way back. Exhale, under. Last one. Inhale, really stretch and open. Exhale, thread it all the way under. So again, you come onto the top of the left shoulder. Draw the hips over your knees and walk that right arm up. So really extending the right side, stretching into the under part of the left. And then just breathe. Coming to rest on your left cheek or left temple. Really breathing into the backs of your shoulder blades here. And then slowly walk your right hand back, press down into your right palm. And let's just come to a quick child's pose. Have your knees hip distance or slightly wider. Draw your big toes together. Take an inhale. As you exhale, walk your hands forward and try to bring your forehead down towards the mat. If your forehead doesn't reach, maybe place a block or cushion underneath. Try to keep your sit bones connected to your heels. Come onto your fingertips. As you inhale, maybe creep those fingertips a little bit more forward. As you exhale, really draw those hips back. Really stretching out the sides of the torso. Breathing into the backs of the shoulder blades. Try to keep your shoulders joined down your back. Try not to let them creep up. Inhale, slowly lift your head about an inch off the mat, and as you exhale, walk your hands to the top left hand corner, really drawing your right hip back, and bring your right palm on top of your left. Drop your forehead down, maybe drop the right shoulder here, and just feel the stretch along the right side of the torso. Inhale, walk your hands back to centre. Exhale over to the top right hand corner. Again, draw that left hip down. Bring your left palm on top of your right. Maybe drop that left shoulder. Bring your forehead back down to the mat. Just feel the extension along the left side now. Just make sure you're still moving in time with your breath. Next inhale, walk yourself back to centre. And as you exhale, just slowly come to lie on your belly. So just create a pillow with one hand on top of the other and place it underneath your forehead. Now let's just come to a quick Sphinx pose. So bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, palms down, and draw your shoulders down your back. Make sure you're on the tops of your feet. Make sure tops of all 5 toes are pressing down. So you want to make sure that little toe is pressing down. So your legs aren't rolling in. You want to slightly roll them out. Lovely. So keeping those shoulders drawing down your back, chest forward, gaze forward. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Inhale back. Press those elbows. Take an inhale. As you exhale, again, turn your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale over your left. And then come back to center. Just resting yourself on your palms. Bring your forehead down to the mat now. And place your palms down by your hips. Palms facing down. Now draw your shoulders down your back and see if you can creep your hands closer towards your feet. Now press your palms down into the mat. Make sure your shoulders are still drawing down. Make sure you're still pressing onto the tops of all 5 toes. And as you inhale, you're going to slowly start to lift your forehead, your chin, your chest off the mat. Keep pressing down into those hands. Keep the shoulders drawing down. Keep your gaze forward, so try not to fling your neck back. Neck is in line with your spine. Make sure you're pressing down into the tops of the feet. Take another inhale. See if you can lift a little bit higher, really opening the chest. And exhale. Slowly lower down to the mat. Come to rest on your right cheek and turn your palms over. Bring your forehead down to the mat again. Again, see if you can creep your hands further down towards your toes. Keep drawing the shoulders back and really press those palms down. So this time when we inhale, we're also going to lift the legs as well. So rather than just thinking about lifting up, I want you to be thinking about extending. So imagine someone's pulling your feet behind you and drawing your crown of your head forward. So you're really extending the spine. So when you're ready, pressing down into the palms, drawing your shoulders down your back. Inhale and slowly lift your forehead, your chin, your chest, your feet, your knees, your thighs off the mat. Toes reaching back, crown of the head reaching forward. Press down into the palms. Inhale, see if you can lift a little bit higher. Keep drawing those feet back and crown of the head forward. On your next inhale, you're going to raise your hands. See if you can raise your hands higher than your feet. Imagine someone's drawing those hands back, really opening the chest, shoulders still drawing down your back. Take one more breath here. And then slowly come back down to the mat. Turn your gaze to the right this time. Come to lie on your left cheek and turn the palms over. Bring your forehead back down onto the mat. And this time, again, bring the tops of your feet down, including your little toe. And we're going to interlace our hands behind our back. Now I want you to make sure your right thumb is on top. Bend the elbows and rotate your right shoulder, your left shoulder back. Extend your arms and see if you can just lift your hands off of your buttock. Lovely. So just rest them back down. So this time as we inhale, pressing down into the tops of the feet and into our pubic bone, we're going to inhale and start to lift the forehead, the chin, the chest, shoulders drawing down the back, and start to lift the arms. Again, imagine someone's reaching the arms up and back. Keep the gaze down. Inhale, really opening up the chest again. Keep pressing down into the tops of the feet. One more breath here. See if you can lift a little higher. And then slowly lower down. Turn your gaze to the left. Come onto your right cheek. Just release your arms down by your sides. Let's do that again. Forehead to the mat. Interlace your hands behind you, this time making sure your left thumb is on top. Again, bend the elbows. Rotate your left shoulder back, rotate your right shoulder back. Extend your arms, just check you can lift your hands off your buttocks, lovely, and place your hands back down. So this time we're going to lift the head and we're also going to lift our feet, knees and thighs. Again, think about extending the head forward and the feet back. So when you're ready, inhale, slowly start to lift your forehead, chin, chest, feet, knees, thighs, hands. Imagine someone's lifting those arms and pulling them back, chest opening, gaze is forward. Again, inhale, see if you can lift a little bit higher, really extending the feet back, crown of the head forward, chest just opening, and then slowly lower. Well done. Come to rest on your left cheek, gaze towards the right. Just releasing your arms out to the sides. Now, bring your hands under your shoulders. You're going to extend your right arm out. So you want your right wrist in line with your right shoulder. Palm pressing down, fingertips nice and spread. So really press the front of that right shoulder into the mat. And then turn your gaze towards the left. So you're going to bring your right cheek or right temple down towards the mat. If you find this uncomfortable, you can place a cushion or block underneath your head. Left hand is underneath your shoulder. Press down into your left palm as you bring your left leg over your right leg. So this is option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, you can bend your left knee and place your foot behind your right leg. Option 3, you can bring your left arm behind you, place the back of the hand onto your sacrum or thread the hand underneath your waist. If you come for option 3, make sure you draw that left shoulder back. And then we're going to stay here for about a minute. So just maybe return to your breath. Close your eyes here. Just breathe into that area of tension that you might be feeling. Really breathing into the front of that right shoulder and across the front of that chest. With each breath, just try to create softness. After your next full breath, slowly bring your hand back if you've got it behind you. Lengthen the left leg. Come onto the front of your body. Just taking your time to come out. Gaze over your right hand. And then bring your right hand underneath your shoulder. So let's repeat it on the other side. This time bring your left arm out nice and wide so your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Spread your fingers and press the palm down into the mat. Press the front of that shoulder into the mat. Gaze over your right shoulder. Hand underneath your shoulder. Bring the left cheek or temple down to the floor or onto a block or cushion. And then slowly press into your hand as you bring your right leg over your left. So remember, this is option 1. Option 2, you can bend your right knee and place the foot behind your left leg. Option 3, bring your right arm behind you. Back of the hand on the sacrum, or you just thread the hand underneath your waist. Keep drawing that right shoulder back. And just pressing into the front of that left shoulder. Again, close your eyes here, start to bring your awareness to your breath. And again, we're going to hold this for about a minute. So again, try to use your breath and draw it down to any tightness that you're feeling, and let it create softness. And after your next full breath, again, start to come out the same way you went in, just taking your time. And then when you have both hands underneath your shoulders, press down into your palms and bring yourself to a quick child's pose. Knees hip distance or wider, big toes touching. Heels drawing back, sit bones drawing back to your heels, forehead drawing down towards the mat. Here you can bend your elbows and bring your hands behind your head, connecting your hands into a prayer position. Just stretching out the under part of your triceps and underarms, maybe the back of the shoulders. Again, really breathe into the back of the shoulder blades. And then slowly lower your hands back down. Press down into your palms and come to a tabletop position. So you want your knees stacked beneath your hips. And then keeping your hips and knees in line, toes pointing back. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to walk your hands forward, drawing your forehead, your chin or chest down towards the mat. So we're trying to come into Anahatasana, heart opening pose, energetically drawing that heart center down. If you have really tight shoulders, you can bend the elbows here. If your forehead doesn't reach, just place it onto a block. Once in position, come back to your breath and keep drawing that heart center down towards the mat. One more breath here. And then slowly bring yourself back to tabletop. Maybe just walk your hands a couple of inches forward, tuck your toes, and we're just going to start to make our way to a downward dog. So lifting your hips up and back. And then you can maybe pedal out your feet here. We're not going to stay long in downward dog. So just do what feels right to you. And then you're going to slowly walk your feet towards your hands. When you reach your hands, have your feet hip distance or wider. Drop your chest onto your thighs, so let your knees bend if they need to. And grab opposite elbows. You can nod your head yes and no here, releasing any tension in your lower back, in your neck. Or maybe just sway from side to side, releasing any tension in your lower back. Now release your hands. And we're going to slowly roll up to standing. Arms up and over your head. Hands through prayer. Now bring your feet about hip distance, toes pointing forward. And we're going to slowly come to a seated position. So come into chair pose. So really drawing those shoulders down. Shift the weight into your heels. Tuck your tailbone and draw navel to spine. Really draw the shoulders down your back. And then we're going to interlace our hands behind our back, bringing our right thumb on top. Keep those shoulders drawing down your back. And then you're going to slowly start to come to a standing forward fold. Let your arms come over your head. Let the chest hang over your legs. Release any tension at the back of your head. Let your head hang heavy. And keep drawing those arms behind you. Try to soften the shoulders here. And then release your arms down by your sides. And then we're going to slowly start to make our way to a chair again. So, before you even come back up, bring your fingertips either side of your feet. Sit back, shift the weight into your heels. Tuck the tailbone, squeeze navel to spine and lift. Again, keep drawing the shoulders down your back. Try to draw the weight over the heels. Hold it there. Now bring the hands behind you, and this time bring your left thumb on top. Interlace your hands. Draw your shoulders down your back. You're still in your chair. Really working those thighs. Inhale as you exhale again. Make your way into that standing forward fold. Try to soften your knees here. Soften your neck and your shoulders, and just let your arms drop behind you. Just breathing into the front of that chest. Breathing into the backs of those legs. And then release your hands. And we're going to step back into our downward dog. Nice. Hold it here. And then step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee. Untuck your toes. So make sure that right knee is directly above the right heel. And you can draw that left leg further back if you can. Then press down into the front foot. Make sure you're not clenching your toes. Press down into the back leg and come to an upright position. Imagine your thighs are drawing in towards each other. Lovely. Nice. Now interlace your hands behind you. Again, make sure your right thumb is on top. Take an inhale, roll your shoulders down your back, and as you exhale, you're going to draw your left hip forward and start to draw your chest up towards the ceiling. Keep your chin drawing down towards your chest, so you don't want to fling your neck back. It's more about opening your chest. Keep drawing that left hip forward. Just let the hand slide down that left leg. Opening the chest up towards the ceiling. Really extending the front side of that body. And then slowly come back up. Place your hands either side of your front foot. Tuck your back toes and come back to your downward dog. This time step your left foot through. Drop your back knee. So again, make sure that left knee is stacked above that left heel. Right leg drawing back. And imagine those thighs are drawing towards each other as you slowly come to an upright position. Bring your arms behind you. This time make sure your left thumb is on top. Shoulders draw down your back. Take an inhale. So try not to lose that knee tracking over that heel. And as you exhale, start to bring your chin to your chest. Lift your chest up towards the ceiling and let your hands slide down your right leg as your right hip draws forward. Lovely, guys. Really opening that front body. There should be no compression in your lower back or your neck, so do not fling your head back. We're opening the chest here. Keep breathing. Make sure you're pressing equally between that front foot and that back leg. And then slowly come back up. Hands either side of that front foot, tuck the back toes, come back into your downward dog. Drop your knees and come to lie on your belly again. Just create a pillow with your hands to place under your forehead and take a couple of breaths here. Now I'm going to come to single legged bow position. So, I'm going to show you two options here. You can keep your right palm under your forehead, forehead resting onto the mat, onto your hand, and then bend your left knee and grab either the toes or the outside of the foot. You can walk it up towards your ankle. So the first option is to lift that thigh off the mat, drawing that shoulder back. You can work here. Or second option is to bring the elbow under the shoulder, arm in line, forearm in line with the front of your mat, chest lifting, and as you inhale, again you reach that thigh off the mat and really draw that foot back, just opening up that chest area. Right leg remains on the mat, really pressing down into the tops of those feet, tops of the right toes. Come to a position that's right for you, keep breathing, and then slowly lower. Bring your hands under your forehead again. And let's do that to the other side. So the left hand can remain under your forehead, forehead pressing down into your left hand. And then you bend your right knee, grab the foot, outside of the foot, or walk it up and just lift that thigh off, drawing that right shoulder back. Or you walk that elbow under your shoulder, arm in line with your front of your mat. And as you inhale, you reach the thigh off, reach that foot back, draws your hand back so your chest is nice and open. And keep breathing. Make sure your hip bones are pressing down into the mat. And then slowly lower down. Create that pillow with your hands again. So this time, you have the option of coming into a full bow pose. So with bow, you have both knees bent and you grab the outsides of your feet. Or you can do the single-legged version. We are going to do two bows. So start with one side and then you can do the other. Okay, so choose the option that's right for you. If you're coming to both, grab both feet. Again, bring your hands onto the tops of the toes, maybe to the outside of the feet, or walk them up towards your ankles. Now try not to let your knees splay out here, so keep your knees drawing in. And as you inhale, you're going to slowly draw your shoulders down your back, lift your thighs off the mat, feet draw back, chest nice and open, neck in line with your spine, gaze is forward. Or you're doing the single-legged version. Keep breathing. No compression in your lower back or neck here. Any compression, slowly start to make your way out and just do the single-legged version. And everyone slowly calm down. Come onto your right cheek, just turn your gaze to the left. Release your arms down by your sides. And then let's do the other side. So come back up again. So if you're doing the single-legged version, just make sure you do the opposite side. Otherwise, again, you bend your knees, draw your knees in towards each other, maybe allow your big toes to touch. Grab the tops of your feet or maybe walk them closer down towards your ankles. Before you even lift, draw your shoulders down your back. And then as you inhale, slowly draw your feet back and up as you allow your chest to open. Keep your gaze forward, keep breathing. Really opening that chest. And then slowly lower. Well done. Come to rest on your left cheek, gazing to the right, arms down by your sides. And then slowly bring your hands under your shoulders. And come back up to kneeling, come back up to tabletop. And we're going to come to a kneeling position. So we're going to come and make our way to a camel pose. We're going to come into the first option. So if you have sensitive knees, you can roll up your mat or maybe use a blanket underneath. And then you want to make sure the distance between your knees is hip distance. So you can always bring two fists together and place that in between your knees to make sure you've got the correct distance. Toes are pointing back. Make sure you're not tucking your toes, your tops of your feet are on the mat. So we're all going to do the first option. So in this position, you want to make sure the front of your hips are reaching forward and you're really extending the front of your spine and reaching your chest up towards the ceiling. So bring your palms onto your lower back, fingertips drawing down, elbows drawing towards each other. And your palms are going to be drawing your hips forward. As you inhale, start to extend the spine up. Really drawing the chest up towards the ceiling. So from here, I want you to draw your chin down towards your chest and open your chest up towards the ceiling. Keep drawing the elbows in towards each other. Again, don't let those hips draw back. Keep breathing. Again, there should be no compression in your lower spine or in your neck here. The opening is across the front of the body and the chest. Keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath. And then slowly come back down. Just come to sit on your heels. Take a breath there. So we're going to come back into camel. You can do the same option you've just done, or you can do the second option, which is to start to bring your hands to your heels. I'm going to show you this using the wall as an option as well. So if you know what you're doing, then of course you don't need to use the wall. But for those of you that are new to this and want to try to bring your hands down to your heels, you might want to try and give it a go by the wall. So, again, make sure your knees are hip distance apart. Again, just place your 2 fists in between your knees. Place the thighs, the bottom of the thighs against the wall and your hips against the wall. Again, if you need cushioning in front underneath your knees, keep that rolled up mat or blanket. Okay, we start with our arms behind us. So everyone can start with their hands behind us, elbows drawing towards each other. Spine lifting, chest drawing up towards the ceiling, chin drawing towards your chest. Make sure if you're against the wall, make sure those hips are pressing into the wall. So if you want to come to the second version, you bring one hand down to one heel. So make sure your toes are not tucked. You've got the tops of the feet down, and then bring the other hand down. And then you lift the chest up to the ceiling, keep pressing the front of the hips in towards the wall, and chin is still drawing towards your chest. Because again, we're extending the front body and opening the chest. Lovely, guys. And then keep breathing. So if your hands don't reach the heels, maybe if you've got a bolster or a couple of blocks, you can use blocks. Or you just stay with the first version. Keep breathing here, guys. And then to come out, you bring one hand underneath your lower back, then the other. Slowly bring yourself back up. And then come to sit into kneeling. And then we're going to slowly make our way down to a child's pose. So again, bring your big toes to touch. Knees hip distance or wider. And just bring your hands along the mat as you bring your forehead down. Just reconnecting with your breath again. And in your child's pose, if you want, you can thread your right arm underneath your left arm, coming to rest on your right temple. Keep your left arm extended, keep your right or both your sit bones drawing back. And then slowly bring that right arm back. Extend that arm and bring your left arm underneath your right armpit, dropping your left temple down towards the mat. Again, drawing those sit bones all the way back. And then slowly come back. Come all the way back up. So we're going to come to lie on our mat again. From here, we're going to make our way to a static bridge pose. So again, bring your feet and knees hip distance. Have your heels underneath your knees. Place your palms down by your sides. And then pressing down into the soles of your feet, your palms and your shoulders. Slowly lift your lower spine, your middle spine, your upper spine off the mat. So come into a static bridge pose. So when in position, keep drawing your hips towards your your knees and chest towards your chin. Then from here you can interlace your hands behind your lower back and just tuck your shoulders under. You can stay there, or you can bend your elbows, bringing one hand underneath the waist and then the other hand. Really extending the front of that body. Try not to let those knees splay out. If you've got your arms interlaced behind you, hands interlaced behind you, or your hands under your waist, you can start to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bring your foot down, and then your left. And down. And we'll just do one more. Inhale, extend the right leg to the ceiling, release, and then the left. And then slowly come back down. Now everyone, start to bring your hands back down by your side. And then vertebra by vertebra, you're going to slowly lower your spine back down towards the mat. Remember to tuck that tailbone. And come all the way down. Take a breath there. And then slowly draw your knees into your chest. Just hug your knees in. Slowly bring your spine back to a neutral position. And then just lengthen your legs down along the mat. Palms down by your sides. We're going to slowly start to make our way to Shavasana. So let your feet splay out. Soften your legs and your thighs. Let your arms remain by your sides. Palms facing up. Letting the fingertips roll in. Soften the front and the back body. And soften the shoulders down into the mat. Really press the shoulders down. Take an inhale. As you exhale, turn your gaze over your left shoulder. And keep pressing that right shoulder down so you get that lovely stretch along the left side of your neck. Inhale back to center. And this time press your left shoulder in as you turn your gaze over your right shoulder. Keep drawing your left shoulder into the mat. Just feel that stretch along the left side of your neck. And then gaze back to the center. Now just release any tension at the back of your neck, your face and your jaw. Maybe just lick your lips here. Just allowing everything to soften. Softening that area around your eyes, your cheeks and your forehead. As we make our way into our final pose, Shavasana. So I invite you to stay in Shavasana for at least 5 to 10 minutes to really reap the benefits of today's practice. Thank you for joining me in today's class. Namaste.